Hello, everyone. Welcome. Let's jump right into this. This is a message of encouragement to stay strong, do not waver in these tough times as we face these ghost wars, spiritual warfare. We have to stay planted, stay rooted, and fight. The spirit of defeat cannot be an option for us. Okay? I don't know, I've been on this earth for 37 years, and I have, since I can remember, been at war with these forces. But in the beginning, at least for the first 20, at least for the last 20 to 30 years, I thought I was dealing with people, a system, a government. But in all actuality, I was dealing with entities that uses people, governments, and what else do I want to say? Even like racism, that we have as a thing here in America. That's a device of the enemy in the unseen realm. I come to find out that it's the demonic powers of the unseen realm that's keeping that thought form going and keeping that philosophy going. And I believe that it's keeping our people stuck. God had to break me free of that. God showed me some things, because in a way it is a real thing, but it's a spirit behind it. Okay. And it's time for Black Americans to leave slavery in the past and leave racism in the past, because it's not a true concept. You're just dealing with these demons that's keeping it going so that we never come together, and our nation is constantly always in a divide, right? And a nation we all know that isn't united has to fall. And this is how this enemy works. He's very divisive, and he loves to keep confusion going. So, as I was saying, 20 to 30 years, I'm thinking I'm dealing with people, and I'm just like, damn, everybody I know is fucked up. Everybody I know done betrayed me. What the fuck is going on out here? And then I begin to have conversations to mend the past with people. And I would tell them about the things that occurred. And then they would say, I didn't say that. I didn't do that. And then it hit me. I said, oh shit, these people were being used. They didn't even know these were things that they were doing. Now, most of the time, these people were also under the influence of drugs. They were regular drinkers or regular smokers. So that is an entry and a gateway to allow Satan and demons and these divisive spirits that's amongst us to operate. When you pretty much, like, it's a gateway. I don't know exactly what happens in the body where you push your consciousness to the back and their consciousness comes. It's like a gateway for them to enter. And people, they would tell me, no, I never said that. I never did that to you. She's lying. We never did any of those things. I said, wow. Then I realized, like, hold up. Something's going on here. I'm not actually fighting these people. These people really don't know why I don't fuck with them. And this is what they want. They want you to be separated and disconnected, and alone. You know, people do say that God separates and God separates for a season so that, he can work on you. I've been alone for more than, probably like really, really fully alone at least since my daughter has been born, and my daughter's going on 12. It's just been me and her for the most part. And before then, I had a separation from friends. Then I got into a toxic, abusive relationship with my daughter's father, and I was there for a while. And it was just basically me, him, and a few other people that used to hang together during that time. But it started, the separation from people started maybe like about, I would say 19. I slowly started to leave people behind because the warfare was insane. Okay. So I don't believe that God wants us separated that long from people. I believe people talk about a season. I'm like, no, I've been separated for years. This can't be an act of God. This is an act of the enemy. This is Satan. Okay? He is operating through people so that you can disconnect from people and be alone. God didn't make for it to be that man live alone at all. So we have to understand, too much separation for us is not good. So I struggled. I said, well, shit, should I reconcile with these people? Because it's not actually them that's fighting me. It is these entities. But you can't, because every time I would go and try to deal with these entities, it was the same shit. I could forgive them and I loved them truly from the bottom of my heart, but it's dangerous. You can't be around them because they liable to get you killed or kill you. You know what I mean? Because they not in control of what they doing because they under the influence of these drugs, and they just ain't in control of their lives. Pretty much they're just robots for these evil spirits. They're just access points. So I had to come to terms and say, no, I struggled for a long time to go back. Do I go back? Because when you're out here by yourself, it's hard, you yearn for that human connection. Of course I have my daughter, but she's a child, and you yearn for that, for someone in your age group or a mature person to interact with. So finally I've come to peace with this stuff. I do believe we're getting closer and closer to a day where those of us who have been under this warfare, we will not be alone forever. There is coming a time. I believe that God is building up an army right now. So the separation is in preparation for us uniting and being an army, and finally coming together. Because when we're together and in one mind, who can defeat us? Right? So I do believe that God is working on us for sure, but the isolation can't be forever. Also, let me see where else I want to go with this conversation. Okay, and then one time I remember I heard the demon clear as day. I heard the demon clear as day a couple times, but one time he was talking through my daughter's father, and he said, "You think we gonna stop?" He said, because I was like, I'm just tired of this shit. I'm tired. Leave me alone. And then I heard the spirit say, you think we gonna stop? This ain't never gonna stop. And he said it in a laughing, menacing way. And I knew it wasn't him talking. I said, oh shit, there's a spirit talking behind him, pretty much saying this spiritual warfare ain't never gonna end. So that's why we have to stay encouraged, and we gotta stay strong and keep fighting, and recognize when they're coming and when they're trying to attack, and to And to when you get to a point, a part of fighting is not even acknowledging them and giving them a foothold, you know? And that takes some practice and some knowledge to get to that point, you know? So let me see. Another time, just recently, maybe like 2 years ago, I was trying to make, I was trying to elevate, right? And go into the next stratosphere. It was time for my new beginning, right? And I heard the demon speak through a friend of mine where I was very torn. During this time, I was under heavy warfare. I was ready to go to the next level. I had set up a play for myself. And then it was like doors was closing on me. Like it was my turn to have access. But it was like these spirits, they was closing doors so that I couldn't level up. And I remember just tussling and toiling for months. I felt like I was stuck at a crossroads and I had to make a decision because I had so many different setups. I had like a couple of baskets and a couple of different roads that I had opened that I could take for myself. And the spirit started to delay things and it just started to close doors on me. And I remember talking to my friend. He lived in Jamaica. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to come down there and see what we can do in Jamaica. Let me go in that direction. And I had gotten some warnings not to go. But at the time, it must have been an entryway and a gateway and a portal that was open because in years prior, this person was trying to get me down there. But every time I would try to make the move, God said no. And in my mind, this person was very consistent, you know, with our relationship and just, you know, just being in my life and being around me and, you know, showing love and stuff like this. But this was a monitoring spirit that was on this boy, on this man that was just monitoring me. I was telling him my business and it wasn't him there. It was a spirit attached to him, listening to everything that I told him I had going on. And this was a person I thought I could trust. So because there was an opening and they knew my every thought and my every move, I knew I wasn't supposed to go, but because, like I said, the warfare was so heavy, the communications between me and the heavens was it was like they was intercepting it. It was like the messages was coming through, but then they had some way of inserting their messages. So I wasn't supposed to go and I decided to go anyway. And I remember it was just, I had gotten to the point of being exhausted. I felt like I needed to make a decision because my resources was running low and I knew I needed to make a play. So I remember like, okay, I'm going to sell my car and just get everything in order and I'm going to go. So I remember telling my friend, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go and sell the car today. I'm going to book the plane ticket and then I'm going to be down there. So I remember hearing this demonic laugh. He said, he was like, okay, just do it. He was like, you know, you've been saying this forever. And I felt the pressure of those words. I knew it was a spirit. I felt it was a spirit talking to me. But I knew I had to get out of these crossroads because I heard that people, you know, they get killed in them crossroads. Them crossroads is like you can get slayed in there. And it was like no roads was opening for me. So I felt like I had to jump because I felt like I was going to die if I didn't get out them crossroads. Seriously, it was like I couldn't make up my mind and to make a decision. And it was partially, like I said, because of the warfare and because all the doors were closing, the roads were blocked, every direction the roads were blocked. So I said, fuck it, I'm jumping out of this shit one way or the other. And that demon encouraged me. He laughed and said, just a very sinister laugh. And it was like, yeah, okay, we'll see. We'll see if you sell the car. Now, this was a great car that I had, that was paid for, brand new car, you know, and that motherfucking demon tricked me out of a lot of things, you know. And I sold my car, came down to Jamaica, and nothing was moving for me in Jamaica. And I'm the type of person prior where the universe yielded to me. Everything yielded for me. You know, I never had this level of resistance. Like, I've experienced resistance, but this was just a whole new level of resistance, you know? And I went, nothing opened for me. And I realized, and also when I was in Jamaica with my quote unquote friend, there was this smell, and I was smelling it in the spirit. These demons, they have a nasty smell, very, very nasty. And I would smell it when he was around. So I said, what is that? I said, these demons are on you. And he said, no, they're not. You're crazy. You don't smell anything. And I'm like, okay, come here. So I started smelling him, and I smelled him, and it really wasn't him. He smelled fresh. But when he was around, I was smelling in the spirit, and I smelled them all literally around him. You know, so they were using him. You got to understand, people are portals to these monitoring spirits and to demonic worlds. These people are portals. So we got to be careful. Okay. So I say that to say that this is a war that I guess we're going to be fighting for a lifetime. But I believe it got to get easier. I'm hoping it get easier. And we gotta, it's a scripture talking about not fainting. We cannot faint. We have to stay strengthened. We got to take rest when we need to take rest. And most importantly, we got to stay educated. We got to stay in the word. We got to stay in a prayer posture. You understand? These are technologies that open up the portals to the heaven so that God, the Most High, can come down and slay. But we got to be unified in thought, right? And in our actions. So we need to, like I said, prayer. Prayer is a technology. It's a technology of bringing the heavens down to the earth so God can intercede on our behalf and be here with us. We have to pray without ceasing in this time. Okay? Prayer posture all 2024. Do not get off your knees. Pray, 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 pray. Because this enemy is vicious. He's ramping up like crazy. And I don't know if it's the times. I mean, the scriptures tell us that the end times, these things will be happening. But then, I think that the end times probably has been like the last, 2,000-3,000 years. Like, it's probably, it's like been this way for quite a long time. So I don't know if it's just where I'm at in life that this is why this is occurring, or is it truly that we're in the last days and everybody is just experiencing this? I don't know. But those of you who are going through this, stay strong. Stay strong. Also, the enemy is so vicious. He'll use your children, because my daughter too, he'll use her, but I done gave her the skills to know when, I told her, put her up on game. So she knows now when she's being influenced. She knows. So then she'll stop in her tracks and, just stop. Because for a minute, he was really using my daughter like crazy, you know? And then I have to, bring her back down and bring, and rebuke those spirits up off of her, you know? And one thing too that I want to let you guys know, some demons are so treacherous. We can't fight these demons alone. Like when we rebuke them, sometimes we got to say, not that, we can't say, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. You got to say, Jesus rebukes you. The Lord rebukes you. Jehovah, you have to say those names. You have to say that, because sometimes our power ain't, is not the power needed to get rid of these demons. Some of our actions ain't enough. We need greater spirits, and even greater people, Don't think that you know it all and you got all the answers. You're going to be in this thing forever. This is a forever battle. We dealing with some intelligent beings, people that's been here before, people who resided before we even came to the face of the earth. They know all the knowledge, all the wisdom, because they was right there when God created everything. So we have to increase our knowledge, ask God for wisdom above all things, right? And where I was messing up was because recently he started really fucking with my finances, right? So I was just praying for money, trying to find money rituals, just doing things to keep money going. But that wasn't the problem. This demon, these spirits, they were the reason for my lack, right? So I needed to go to war with them. It wasn't that I needed a money ritual. It was that I needed to go to war with them and to annihilate them. So if you having that problem now, don't look for money spells or any of those things or rituals or be praying to God for money. God is going to supply your every need. Okay? That's one thing that you need to know. You got to have faith in that. That's another thing. We need faith in this day. Your faith must not falter. It must not. It must be continual. One thing I know for sure, through all of this warfare, through all of these years, one thing that stayed consistent was God. God ain't never leave me nor forsake me. He seen me out of every situation. Okay? Every. And that's because I depended on him heavily. And I always called upon him for everything. Okay? One thing I can tell you for sure, God is faithful. He ain't going to leave you. You also got to, like me, I was stuck in the illusion of I don't want to call it an illusion, because I know God can give us access to wealth and riches and things like that. But that comes with wisdom, because you can get money, but you can lose it also when these forces come against you, because they're here to take it right out of your hands. So you can acquire stuff, but you got to know how to maintain it and keep it. Okay? You got to know how to do that. So if right now you trying to figure out why ain't I rich in my life yet, why ain't I get wealthy, I know I got the tools to do it. I've had lots of money in my hands. I know I can get it. All of this stuff. Don't worry or focus on that. It's an illusion for us right now. We seeing all these people run through millions and billions, and we thinking that we should have what they have. And yes, we deserve it, right? But we are the warriors. We are dealing with some other stuff. And Satan loves to keep the illusion going. He likes to draw you into that illusion. We have to look at what's before us and be grateful for everything that God has given to us. Because believe me, the thing that you think might be a little, someone right now is dying to have what you have. You see all of these people coming in from all these other countries, coming from thousands of miles away to come into the U.S. Oh, I'm going to do a video on that as well, because I seen some stuff in the spirit. They coming for your stuff, And it ain't like they doing it on purpose. They don't know that's what they're doing. They're just coming because they've been told that this is the land of the free, and they've been lured into the illusion as well. So they're coming for a better day as well. They're not realizing that by doing this, they're actually being used to take from the people that's already here, the original inhabitants of this land, the people that belong to this nation. But that's another story. So we have to be grateful for the things that God is giving us. You ain't hungry. You ain't homeless, right? You ain't clothesless. That's prosperity. That's prosperity. Satan will show you all of this wealth and all this accumulated stuff that people got, and will draw you in and have you feeling like, wow, I ain't got that. I know I'm capable of achieving that. Forget that. Okay? You have everything that you need. Be grateful. Don't look at nobody else's life. You got to deal with what's in front of you. Your husband, your wife, be happy. Some people ain't got one. Treat him wrong. Fuck that up. He out the door. Somebody waiting to scoop him up. Same thing with your wife. Love on her. Treat her right. And every day ain't going to be a happy. Every day ain't going to be sunny, and every day ain't going to feel like the first day that you fell in love. It ain't going to feel that way. But that's all right. You just have to have that knowledge and that wisdom. But you do understand that this is my covering. God, when you set your vows before God, that's your covering. That's your covenant for protection. Don't leave from up under that protection and go out there and find out ain't nothing out there. The grass ain't greener. You've been sold a dream. Okay? So families, stay together and just educate your families on the warfare that's out here, and tell them that we must stay together. We must love one another. We must acknowledge when the enemy's coming and trying to destroy us and separate it. We must stay together. You understand? You got to. You know, you're gonna do it to the best of your ability. You know, I'm aware that in some families, Satan, he might win. You know, he might win for a period of time, or he might win permanently, you know, with a family member. And those are casualties. You know, there's going to be casualties in war. We understand that. But we gotta keep what we do have, the family members, and we gotta keep all of that intact. Okay? That is also your protection. Also, you need to be reading that Bible. All you conscious people, Black Power people who done got into this conscious movement, it's a deception. I'm going to tell you. Like I said, it's because we not really fighting racism. We fighting an entity, a ghost entity that is using people to behave this way. So we need to move beyond that. We need to move beyond the Bible and the Crusaders and what they did all around the world. Those are people who used the force and the power incorrectly. We got to forget about all the pastors that stole from our grandparents and our family and just took and took and took. We got to forget about all of that. Yes, those things happen. But that book is suffice. It's wisdom filled. We got to get back to it. Don't give up on it. Now I'm going to tell you how I know, okay? Okay, when I started to come into this spiritual awareness and this cosmic awareness, I didn't deal so much with the Bible. When you first start off, I was into manifesting. That was the big thing. You know, I was into manifesting and vortexes, and it was all about, you know, enhancing my life and enhancing my prosperity, you know. So the Bible, I felt like I had knew who Christ was. I felt like I was the Christ, and I also knew that Christ was present in my life. So I took that for granted, and I got away from the Bible. But I remember this friend that I told you about who was in Jamaica. He had advised me. He said, "Oh, you know, you should get a reading from this woman or whatever." And he just kept on encouraging. I was like, no, I don't know what she can tell me. You know what I mean? Because I just had come from that church background, where there wasn't much wisdom in this area, where, they tell you to stay away from these kind of people. They call them psychics and stuff like that. They say stay away from these people. So I kind of was against it because of that background, and I felt like God talked to me directly, so I didn't need no third party. So he finally convinced me, and I did go and get a reading from this lady. And at the time, I should have asked for more, but I was doing it as an experience. I wanted just to experience and see what she can come up with, But had I known the power of readings, I would have definitely took it more seriously and asked more questions. But one thing that stood with me was she said, there's a book around you that you need to start reading. That, I don't know if she said you stopped reading. She's like, it's a book that you need to read. I think that's what she told me. Or she might have said, there's a book around that you stopped reading that you need to read. Something to that effect. And it always hit me that it had to be the Bible. But I was into all these other teachings at the time, all these other universities that I believe they're connected to the Bible. Metaphysics in the beginning, when I started getting into it, was very much connected to the Bible. But it was just books that correlate with the Bible that were outside of the Bible, okay? Just getting me started on my path, And then I remember having a dream maybe in 2020, 2019. And it was Sarita Jakes. She showed up in my dream, and I believe she had pink on or something. And she was holding the Bible in her hand, and she was saying, this is your guide. Pretty much, this is your guide. This is your, like they say the Bible stands for basic instructions before leaving earth. Like, this is your manual, your life manual, she was saying. And I remember waking up out of that dream, and I remember going to YouTube that day, and she showed up and she had pink on. So I knew that was a message coming from the Spirit, And I had tried to get into the Bible during that time, but I seen so much war in it. All the sections that I was going to was so much war, and I didn't understand war. I just like, why so much blood? Why so much killing? I just didn't understand. And my spirit was I was more so in this loving light kind of atmosphere, and that was really where my spirit was. I'm a very loving person. I just couldn't grasp the thought of all this war, and I couldn't read it. I had to keep closing it every time I tried to open it. And I was getting so much feeding and knowledge from another place and it was suffice knowledge. It was knowledge that was sent through a prophet who saved my life, who was a destiny helper in that season of my life. Okay? Who was more so dealing in the prophetic opposed to the Bible. There would be times he referenced scriptures with things, and but it wasn't really Bible based. I'm going in the Bible and we talk about this. It was all prophetic. It was all coming from the realm of the Spirit. The Holy Spirit was coming from there, So I was suffice with not going into the Bible, and I was seeing real results in my life. It was something that kept me, So fast forward 2023, I'm under heavy spiritual warfare from about 2020 up until now, still now, and God has led me back to people who are actually able to connect or bridge the world of the Bible and the world of metaphysics, because metaphysics is the Bible, but I've had people teaching it without the Bible per se. But now God has moved me back to the Bible and shown me all the things that actually I received and understood in the metaphysics, but it's right there in the Bible and how to access them on a higher level. It's like, there's many mansions in my father's house. So now that I'm dealing with a higher level of warfare, I need higher tools. I need better weaponry. We need better weaponry, right? So that we don't get weary and we don't lose our footing in this war. So I'm encouraging everybody, we got to get back to the word. Prayer, the word is going to be like body armor to us. So we got to get back into it. All of the Black Power people, conscious people, they fallen off like flies. And that's because they denounced that Bible and stopped going into it. They just denounced it altogether because they felt like it was, attached to slavery. It was attached to thievery of our lands, of our soul, everything. So they just denounced it all together. And now they all falling off, getting locked up. You understand? But the Holy Spirit has guided me back to its teachings and its power, which never left me, but it was on a elementary level. I had understanding of the Bible, elementary level. So now he's in a season, like I said, of making a bridge between the enlightenment aspect of our journey, the metaphysical, the spiritual, and this Bible, because that's what that Bible is. It's that. But now he's unveiling technologies to me that's in the Bible, weaponries that we can use as children of the Most High to defeat this enemy. So you must not fail to continually seek wisdom, understanding, knowledge. It's an ongoing thing. It's an ongoing training. Don't think that you know everything. You don't know nothing. This world is vast, and this world is built on worlds upon worlds upon worlds, orders on top of orders on top of orders. You hear me? So this place is vast, never ceased, because the warfare is only going to increase as much as you glow. The more you glow, the more light you gain. They say a new level, new devil. It's real. And you're going to need to learn how to defeat these high-ranking demons. Period. Okay? So one thing we have to know is to keep our faith and not get weary. Okay? That's what we're going to have to do. Because when you start to worry, that faith start to break down, because that spiritual warfare, that storm is hitting you like crazy and you can't see the roads no more because the storm and everything done got dark. You got to keep faith and know that the Lord your God is going to see you through. You got to know it. You got to know that all bills will be paid. You got to know that everything that you done worked hard for, that God done gave you and blessed you with and done kept and protect, he going to continue to do it. No devil will come and steal your harvest. Okay? No devil. So, for the level of these demons that's coming through right now, the only answer is Jesus. He's the answer to the situation. These other, there's other deities and stuff like that I've used in the past for different things. But when it comes to this spiritual warfare, it's a reason he is the King of Kings, Lord of Lords. Every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess that he is Lord. He is the energy of Mars. He is the energy of the sun. You hear me? You got to have that fire around you. Another thing is, keep your house lit up. Them demons are afraid of fire. Okay? You got to keep you an altar of fire. Candles upon candles upon candles. Okay? An altar strictly for the Lord. Okay? I've seen the power of the Lord when his altar is erected. Okay? I remember reading in Revelations that when you talk, when you talk, you will be breathing fire upon people. Okay? I witnessed it firsthand. I had a problem with someone, and when I was talking to them, they had to back up. It was like the fire was getting them. I was watching them. They couldn't stay in my presence. They just backed up and just was walking backwards away from me. And every time this person came to my house, it was like he was a stalker. He would come. He couldn't get out his car and come to my door. He sat in his car. He had no access to me. All he could do was watch. The portal that he was attached to, the demonic portals, they couldn't reach me because I was surrounded by fire. Don't let the fire die. That's what they want. They want to extinguish your fire. But the devil is a liar. We got to yell, more fire, more fire, more fire. You hear me? More fire. So keep your home lit up. Also, salt is an salt's element. Salt is connected to the element of fire. Okay? You need to sprinkle the outdoors of your home, the perimeters of your yard, okay? With salt. Sprinkle it. Your car with salt. Salt all over your cars. Because this enemy is coming for your possessions. This enemy wants you to have nothing. But he will not succeed. Okay? So we are using salt as a defense. And the spirit that represents the Lord, because it's fire. Our God is an all-consuming fire. Okay? Also, you're going to get you some olive oil, and you're going to put them crosses all around your home, on your car, on your children. Anoint your children's head every day before they go out to school and go into the world. Anoint them. Okay? This is spiritual technology. These things around us have powers. Okay? You are going to anoint yourself with the olive oil. Okay? Right on your head, because that's where this enemy like to attack. He like to attack our minds, our mental well-being. He's a fucking liar. He will not. So anoint your forehead every day and every night before you rest, and anytime you take a nap. Anoint it with that oil right in the center, that third eye. You're going to put that cross there. Okay? That's what we're doing. Now, let me see. What else do I want to give you guys? Also, the Lord, a way in drawing him near and keeping him here. Like I said, the word is your armor. That's when you're going to be putting on your God body. That's your God body. Okay. Your helmet, your breastplate, all of that, reading that word and staying in it. You got to make time every day. If it's 30 minutes a day, you got to do it, because it's a matter of life and death out here. People are dropping like flies. Okay. It's a matter of life and death, and you will not die before your time. Okay? Destiny has to be achieved. We must, as the body of Christ, we must see the throne. You understand? So these are necessary steps. Don't you worry about your job. Don't you worry about your money. God is going to make sure all bills are paid. But you got to take that time out every day to read the word. Every day to feed your altar. Every day to give God worship and praise. Worship and praise brings him down to earth. So you're going to want to use very highly anointed songs. Okay? Songs, visualization of you reaching to the heavens and bringing him down so that his power is established here on earth. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So we have to bridge that energy between he and I, and establish the original order that he had for us before the fall of man. We have to realign it, reconnect it, and reorder it. Okay? That's our duty. We got to do it. So through the music, if you want to do your own songs, that's lovely. There's some very highly anointed songs out there that, go into that gospel music, the church of the 70s, 60s, 80s, powerful music, soul music. Go get it and listen to it. Play it for the Lord. Sing it with your heart and soul. Clap your hands. He loves music. Okay? He loves clapping hands. Call on him through the music, through worship, through prayer. Okay? Do that. Let's see. What else am I missing? Okay, also, big one. Big one. Okay, as we're talking about keeping fire around us, you must fire up your tongue in this time. The way this enemy is trying to damage our mental well-being and our mental health, you have to fire up your tongue. For every lie he sends your way, you have to confess with your tongue the opposite. If he's saying death to you, you declare with your mouth, I declare life. You understand? You got to do this because, the imagery that's out there, turning on the internet every day, going out into the world every day, there's all type of subliminal messages being thrown at your brain just through messaging, imaging, that he is using. That's his technology, imagery, okay? Video, media. This is where he operates. So everything that your father told you that belongs to you and that you are, you are. He's throwing you everything to tell you that you are not. Rebuke it. If you can't rebuke it, remember, Jesus rebukes you. Jesus rebukes that thought. And you replace it with the correct thought. If the enemy is saying death, you say life. If the enemy is saying lack, you say abundance. You understand? You got to fire up your tongue. One way to help you fire up your tongue, you're going to sit some salt under your tongue. Remember the salt is an element of fire. Put it under your tongue and ask the Lord to fire up your tongue, because life and death resides in the tongue. That's the power of the tongue. Spells come out of the mouth. Okay? Create life-giving, affirming spells over your life. That's all spells is. It's the spoken word. Okay? You want positive affirmations over your life. Okay? So fire up that tongue. Anything that come into your mind that start playing with you and have you all of a sudden not feeling good. You was feeling great, then all of a sudden you don't feel good because you don't watch something or listen to something. The devil is a liar. Rebuke it and fight back with the word. Use your mouth to fight back. It's going to fire you up. It's going to fire up your spirit. It's going to build up your auric body. We want to remove all of those chinks that might be in the auric body, the auric field that allows Satan entry. So you're going to be needing to listen to music that protects your aura and expands it and make it so bright and so luminous that the enemy stays away. So that's a big one too. Amping up that auric field. And you do that through spiritual baths. Again, a simple bath. If you can't do an elaborate spiritual bath, salt is suffice. Okay? Salt and water. Epsom salt baths. Just regular sea salt from the kitchen, and washing your hair with it, washing your face with it, washing your body with it. Okay? Baking soda as well, because baking soda is a form of salt. Using baking soda. These are all good. If you can't take a bath, so you only got a shower stool, just constantly cleanse your body with the powder and with the salt. Okay? The best of your ability. It's about intention and using those things. It will work. Okay? So That's one way to build the auric and keep them up off of you. And also sound. Sound. You're going to need to get up under that high vibrational music, that auric boosting music. And you can find tons of them on YouTube. But just don't listen to anyone. Make sure you look at the comments and make sure that people are, saying that there are results, not people hoping and wishing for results. We want people that actually say this stuff works. Okay? So that's important. Okay? Also in this war, we already know that they are poisoning the food. The food, man. Oh, it's the big one. Now check this out. At Little Caesars right now, their pizza boxes, right? They got some kind of, I guess it's a movie or something that's out that they're promoting on the box. And they got this whole action figure looking person. And then he got like a mask on his face. Look like he got the whole hazmat outfit for when nuclear war comes. And it says modern warfare right there on the pizza box. It's right there in our face. Modern warfare. They using the food to weigh us down. That food is poison. When it get in your body, number one, it's gonna make you sluggish, right? It make you sluggish and it weakens your mind. Remember, this is the entry point for the enemy through your mind. Food is a drug now. It's a drug. It's just like marijuana. It's just like alcohol. Okay, that's why the Food and Drug Administration go hand in hand. The FDA, Food and Drug Administration. The food is a drug now. So once you eat that food, that's access for that demon to come on into you and utilize you and also attack you. So you got to stay off of that fast food. The spirit showed me definitely McDonald's. They showed me McDonald's, but I believe that was a representation of all that fast food. Okay? And not even just the fast food. All this food that's in the store, all these preservatives, all this shit we got out here in the stores. You got to really go strictly whole foods. You got to. And I ain't telling y'all that I don't slip up every now and then, and mess around and eat some ramen or something like that, because it happens. But I wake up and remember, because then I get off track. I'm like, whoa, where was the entry point? How did I lose energy? What happened? It's because I done messed with that damn food I wasn't supposed to eat. But I ate it because I'm busy, because the enemy trying to drain my resources. I'm trying to catch up and get my resources back, that I done messed around and sacrificed my health. And this was an entry point for him. So you must go to Whole Foods, get all organic. I know it's no way for us of telling it's organic, but for the most part, you got these reputable stores. The stuff is organic, and remember to always pray over the food, okay? Pray over everything you eat. Whole Foods is a must, okay? Because the food is a drug now. So it's a method of attacking, okay? Let's see. Exercise, movement. Movement is going to be big, especially in these cold months. Movement. Got to keep the body moving. If you just at your house, if you ain't got no gym membership, you can't afford to get one, that's all right. You can do whatever you can do at home. They got apps out here. Yoga. I'm being told now that yoga, Pilates is much better for the spiritual ones. It's light on the body. These other things can be pretty heavy on our bodies, especially women. All of this, exuding too much, with lifting weights and cardio. So we need to do something a bit more gentler, something that's gentler on the body. Okay? But we definitely need movement. Don't get stiff out here. Don't get tired. You can't get tired, because that enemy, he don't get tired. He working around the clock. So what's going to keep your energy feel energized? Another thing is exercise. Now, try to do all of these things every day. If you can't, at least incorporate a couple of them, or one. If you can't do one, do one of these things. It's good for you a day. Make sure to move that body, whether it's just dancing in the house, just dancing with the kids, dancing, laughing. Movement. Gentle movements. Walking is powerful. Just walking. If you can just go outside, walk around your yard, walk around the corner, go and do it. Okay, 30 minutes is suffice. It's good. It's good for you. Okay, it's good. We just talked big about laughter. I just spoke about laughter. Laughter is important. It's good for the soul. But smiling, what this enemy done to me in the last 3 years, I tell you, I was a person who always had a smile. And even through this thing, I still had a smile. But then I realized that I started more so not to smile. And what was happening was I was dealing with people who they don't want to see you smiling. So they would create situations when I come in their presence to where I would have to be aggressive with them. So it took me out of my smiling mode and my joyous spirit, and okay. So anger and all of these emotions, they weaken the auric field. They bring you down. Okay? Now, anger is necessary, right? But we don't want to stay there and ruminate in it too long. Okay? So I had to be aggressive with people because, people will take your kindness as weakness, and people think you soft. And, these demons, they just want to test you constantly. So I was feeling the need to exude myself but remember, I'm thinking I'm dealing with people. No, I'm dealing with a spirit behind these people. It wasn't even the people. So it's the spirit that wants me to not smile. He don't want me happy. So I would just be going in places, not smiling and being like, yeah, I matched your energy. What's up? Don't even say nothing to me. Don't play with me because I'm really with the shits. You understand? So don't even go there with me. But I come to realize that's another strategy. These demons, they smart. They intelligent. Okay? We must stay high vibrational. That's why we must know the enemy's ways and how he's attacking. So when you know, you don't even react to it. Okay? You don't even act. So now I go in places and I'm just smiling again. And I don't care who I offend. And I ain't letting them take the smile off my face. I ain't letting them take the joy off of me. It ain't happening. You understand? Because all of these little incidents, all they is to weaken you so that these demons can find entry. So we got to be smarter than them. Okay. Also, the stress of this spiritual warfare is stressful, right? It's been stressful for me. So what you're going to want to do is, this is where the plants come in, the herbs come in. You're going to need things to help energize your system or to calm your system down from all the overactive, the overthinking. Meditation is a tool which is good for that, which is just stillness, rest, even, just taking rest, laying down for a bit of time, off your phone, social media detox, just chilling. You can listen to a sound if you want to. You don't have to. Just no thought as much as possible. Just leaving things behind. Not you consciously thinking, because you will just have random thoughts just popping by, and that's okay. They say you observe them and just let them go. But you'll see all the stuff that's coming through you. It's just flowing through you, but it ain't you. So you don't have to be attached to these emotions and feelings that's coming through. You just let them disappear into the ether. Just go on, or better yet, we don't want them going on because we don't want them to go on to other people. We want to send them to the earth so the earth can purify them, or send them in water, places where they can be purified. Send them in the wind, send them in the elements where they can be purified into positivity. You understand? So meditation is a tool, as well as plant medicine, mushrooms, like mushroom teas. I've heard people talk about these. I'm not sure if these are psychedelics, but I know lately everyone's been talking about mushrooms and ayahuasca and all those things. I don't know much, and I haven't done enough research, and I've never tried them, so I'm not sure. But I've heard great things about them, as far as what they do to the body and things like that. Which I'm assuming they pretty much probably on a higher level do the same things as plants, herbs, and regular mushrooms that are not psychedelics, which just help keep the system in alignment, keep the mind, body, and spirit intact, becoming one. They're not separated. they're fully intact and working. Okay? Because the stress of this warfare can detach you and have you feeling unaligned and woozy, and you don't want that. So you're gonna need things, plants, also earthy vegetables and fruits. They help ground you. They help keep you grounded and in your body, in mind, body, and soul connection. So earthy foods, potatoes, carrots, things like that are going to keep you well balanced, keep you healthy, keep the body working as well. Meditation for balance, for wholeness within the systems, as well as the plant medicines. They're good for that. So you want to incorporate as much, or you just see which of these methods work the best for you and stick with it. Okay. But these are things that I'm throwing out there that's going to help us in our fights, so that we don't get weary, so we don't give up, and we are not defeated but victorious. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else that I want to say. Okay, I guess the only thing that came to me was, of course, when you're unsure in any of your movements, just always, whenever you're unsure and you're confused, just call on the Lord for answers. Tell the Lord to answer you, to give you, send you a sign, so that you may know which way to proceed. When in doubt, do nothing. When you don't know, don't move. You wait till you get answers and then you move forward. Okay? Because remember, it is real out here. Like I said, we've seen people dying left and right. And it's for lack of knowledge, lack of attunement, lack of being in touch with that intuition. That's your navigation system also that God placed in you, that gives you answers. Listen to it. Unless, of course, yours have been manipulated. But if so, ask God. Pray that God realigns your intuition system with precision and accuracy. Okay? And with that being said, I truly, truly love you guys. And we will be victorious. Until next time.